Hi there, I'm Vicki Parfano for Aussie Stampers. Welcome back. Today I have for you some art journal ideas using Lavinia background papers. And these are some close-up shots of the art journal I'm going to show you how to make right now. So today I'm using my 6" by 6" hand art journal. This has heavy watercolor paper on it and it's spiral bound. Now this is the Lavinia background paper that I'm working on, and Lavinia Stamps put out a selection of these gorgeous ready-made backgrounds for you. So to take the pages out, all you need to do here is take some fine scissors and snip between each of the rings of your ring binder. This allows you to take the pages out just by squeezing those rings together. It's very simple to do. And then you can work flat on a flat surface, which allows you to do all kinds of inking and all kinds of other techniques as well. Now I'm just going to cut a little bit off each of the edges of this Lavinia background without taking too much of the lovely, gorgeous colour away. I'm just lining it up with my page and allowing just a small frame around the outside and on the top. So you can see that I've made room for a frame, and I'm going to paint up the back of the page, and this is going to give me my frame. I have some lamp black ink, or just any black, sorry, not ink, paint. Any black paint would do for this, and I'm using plenty of water with it and just painting a frame, and I'm putting that aside to dry. Now I'm using magicals today. These are by Lindys Stamp Gang, and I have this set called Drop Dead Diva. So they come in sets. This particular set is 5 powders, and I'm going to show you what they look like. I have a swatch book that I've made of all these powders. You can see how pretty they are. They are really super sparkly, and I've layered some gold on the top. So that gold was added last, and I'm going to show you the techniques of how to do this. Now with my Lavinia background, I'm going to choose the colours that I think will work. There's some purple there, yellow there, green there, blue there. There isn't any pink, so I'm taking that away, just using 4 of the colours and bringing in this Grab a Guy gold. So that's going to be the gold that goes on top. Now to show you how this works, I'm going to use a different stamp set just for the purposes of explaining how magicals work. The stamp set I'm going to use on my art journal is a darkroom door stamp set, but this is a paper mill stamp set. I love this set because it's meant for art journaling. And I'm just going to show you, if you haven't seen how these magicals work, they are fantastic. You just take a dry fan brush. You need the tiniest amount. Truly, you just need a very small amount. You can see I'm brushing off the excess on the palm of my hand there so I don't contaminate from one little pot to the next. Brushing it off and brushing out of the little pots there. You can see this looks like it's another yellow colour, but in fact it's green, so you can't always tell the colours by what's inside the jars, but you'll see how that activates with water and becomes a green colour. So we have a purple, a yellow, a green and a blue, and each of these colours will look really good. I think they'll look really good on the background anyway. So I'm just mixing with a filbert brush, which is a kind of a mini rounded edge brush, and I'm going to put them straight onto this watercolour paper, this Canson watercolour paper, and show you how they work. So just make sure your brush is clean between each one. You can use the same jar of water. You don't need a different jar of water for each one. But they go on really simply, and you can see how I used a tiny, tiny amount of these magical powders, and I have plenty of paint there. I have much more than I really need. So here's that lovely green that's activated with the water and become green. And I'm just going to spread these all around on these stamped images, and I'm going to use these on another project. I want to just use them as a swatch for you to see how these magicals work. Now you can see they're quite shiny, so I'm going to grab the Grab a Guy gold, which comes in a shaker, so it's a bit like a spice shaker. I'm using the small holes, and I'm just shaking a tiny, tiny bit on the top of each of those. And I'm not going to add any water at this point. I'm just going to give it a bit of a tap. If you wanted to, you could spritz again with water with a spray bottle. I like how the gold just sits on top like little flakes. So this is an example of how you can use these magicals. Now, I have gone ahead and stamped these flowers. These are the ones I'm using on my journal today. These are by Darkroom Door, and I've stamped them using Tuxedo Memento black ink. I'm going to cut out some of the flowers, not all of them. I only need 3. I want to form a focal point in the bottom right-hand corner of this page. So I'm fussy cutting, and I love to fussy cut. I think it's very relaxing. So I've chosen one of the purple flowers, now a blue flower, and this is sort of more a yellowy green flower, I guess. A little bit of blue in it as well. More yellows and greens, blues and mauves. You can see how shiny they are. They're really spectacularly shiny. I love working with these. So I'm just working out where I want my arrangement to go. And I want to bring in some leaves. So I have another Darkroom Door stamp, which is called Fine Leaves. So we have fine flowers and fine leaves. And I'm going to cut these out. Now, any stamps that you have that are florals would do if you don't have these particular Darkroom Door stamps. Just something that will provide a floral focal point in the bottom edge. Now, I'm going to use some stickers from this One Canoe 2 sticker book. I purchased this from Spotlight stores in Australia. They're put out by American Crafts. I think they're the best value sticker books around. They have something like 1,600 stickers or 1,500 stickers in every book. And I just go to them time and time again. So these are the 2 pages I've pulled from this sticker book. I want this tiny dark butterfly, and I want the quote, which is "Life is lovely." Now I have some matte medium by Matisse and a large brush, and I'm going to start adhering these to that Lavinia background. And this makes your surface non-porous, and it means you can write on it with alcohol markers, which I will do later. I'm going to use some black and some white markers. Now, I made a mistake here. I actually meant to paste this with the blue side up. You can see how the petals of that flower have really blended right into the leaves. It's just upsetting me a little, but I think I'm going to fix it with some markers at the end. I'm going to bring in some blue markers and bring some of the blue back to that flower that's just dissolving right into the leaves. Okay, now I'm going to peel off the sticker, and I love these stickers because they are clear, and so there's no white border around them, and that's why I chose them. Just positioning that there. And then I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder. If you didn't have a bone folder, you could use the handle of some scissors. That would work equally well. And now I'm going to put on this little black butterfly to pick up the black lettering. And I'm going to set it just across the moon. Now there's a few little pieces that just need to be trimmed off with scissors that are sticking out over the edge. And now I'm going to put matte medium over the entire page, just so that it is completely non-porous. Now you can see I've brought in that image that I created earlier for the frame, or the painted section for the frame. And I'm going to adhere the piece with matte medium. And I'm going to put some on the watercolor paper as well, because the watercolor paper is quite porous. So I want to make sure that I get a good adhesive grip on that. And you can see when I put the top on, you can see the effect of that black on black. So I've picked up the black in the quote and the butterfly in the frame. Now I'm going to put my book on top and a heavy weight. I've just got a gesso jar here. I'm going to pop on the top of that and wait till it's dry. So I gave that about 2 hours to dry. And it's all nice and flat because I've dried it under a heavy weight. The page has not curled up. Now I'm going to use some of these Nuvo drops. These dry clear, and I wanted them to look a little bit like dewdrops on the flowers and on the leaves. So I'm just popping those around wherever I think they might look nice. And I want to bring some more black into the leaves and the flowers because they tend to be a little bit too soft there. So I want to bring some more vibrancy in. I'm just going around with a quite thick black Sharpie around the center of the flowers and the leaves. And I'm going to bring a white gel pen, and this is a jelly roll marker, but if you had a Signo gel pen, that would work really well too. And just lifting some of that heavy black so that it blends more in with the leaves and the floral focal point. And just going in and touching up in the center so that the letters are still flowing nicely. Now I'm going to bring in the white gel pen and just put some details on the butterfly, and this final touch really brings the whole page to life. This is something I like to do so that there's an integration between the values of the colors, so that you have plenty of white, plenty of black and plenty of color, and the whole page then comes together nicely. You can see I've colored that green flower with some blue watercolor markers to turn it blue. I really had to do that because it was just blending in too much with the leaves. Now it's standing out quite nicely, and I'm happy with how that looks. It's got a nice shine on it because of the gel medium, so I'm going to show you now how I put this back into the journal. I love this idea of having a spiral bound journal and being able to put the pages back in again. The other thing I love about using this journal, you'll notice that the spiral runs to the top. Now, most people I've seen use these journals would have the spiral at the side. I like it at the top because you can actually stand your book up like a little frame at each of the pages. It's a bit like one of those desk calendars. You can flip it over to see what the other pages are, and I just love using them. I think there it is standing up on my desk. I really do like it. So I have some more close-ups for you of this so that you can see close up how that Lavinia background has merged so beautifully with the elements that I chose to put on top. And I'm going to show you a couple more videos at the end of this that you can have a look at that are also art journal videos. Here are 2 more videos for you to have a look at, and I hope you enjoyed today's session. I really enjoyed making this for you. Bye for now.